Good morning, everybody. I would like to read you this story called You Are Special by Max Lucado. It's a simple story that my mom used to read to me when I was little, and I found that as I've gotten older, sometimes the simplest stories have the deepest meanings. The Wemmicks were small wooden people. All of the wooden people were carved by a woodmaker named Eli. His workshop sat on a hill overlooking their village. Each Wemmick was different. Some had big noses, others had large eyes. Some were tall and others were short. Some wore hats, others wore coats. But all were made by the same carver and all lived in the village. And all day, every day, the Wemmicks did the same thing. They gave each other stickers. Each Wemmick had a box of golden star stickers and a box of gray dot stickers. Up and down the streets all over the city, people spent their days sticking stars and dots on one another. The pretty ones, those with smooth wood and fine paint, always got stars. But if the wood was rough or the paint chipped, the Wemmicks gave dots. The talented ones got stars too. Some could lift big sticks high above their heads or jump over tall boxes. Still others knew big words or could sing pretty songs. Everyone gave them stars. Some Wemmicks had stars all over them. Every time they got a star, it made them feel so good. It made them want to do something else to get another star. Others, though, could do little. They got dots. Punchinello was one of these. He tried to jump high like the others, but he always fell. And when he fell, the others would gather around and give him dots. Sometimes when he fell, his wood got scratched, so the people would give him more dots. And when he would try to explain why he fell, he would say something silly, and the Wemmicks would give him more dots. After a while, he had so many dots that he didn't even want to go outside. He was afraid he would do something dumb, such as forget his hat or step in the water, and then people would give him another dot. In fact, he had so many gray dots that some people would come up and give him one for no reason at all. He deserves lots of dots, the wooden people would agree with one another. He's just not a good wooden person. After a while, Punchinello believed them. I'm not a good Wemmick, he would say. A few times he went outside. He would hang around the other Wemmicks, who also had lots of dots. He felt better around them. One day he met a Wemmick who was unlike any he had ever met. She had no dots or stars. She was just wooden. Her name was Lucia. It wasn't that people didn't try to give her stickers. It's just that the stickers didn't stick. Some of the Wemmicks admired Lucia because she didn't have any dots, so they would run up and give her a star, but it would fall off. Others would look down on her for having no stars, so they would give her a dot, but it wouldn't stay either. That's the way I want to be, thought Punchinello. I don't want anyone's marks. So he asked the stickerless Wemmick how she did it. It's easy, Lucia replied. Every day I go see Eli. Eli? Yes, Eli the woodcarver. I sit in the workshop with him. Why? Why don't you go find out for yourself? Go up the hill, he's there. And with that, the Wemmick who had no stickers turned and skipped away. But will he want to see me? Punchinello cried out. But Lucia didn't hear. So Punchinello went home. He sat near a window and watched the wooden people as they scurried around, giving each other stars and dots. It's just not right, he muttered to himself. And so he decided to go see Eli. He walked up the narrow path to the top of the hill and stepped into a big shop. His wooden eyes widened at the size of everything. The stool was as tall as he was. He had to stretch on his tiptoes to see the top of the workbench. A hammer was as long as his arm. Punchinello swallowed hard. "I'm not staying here," and he turned to leave. Then he heard his name. "Punchinello?" The voice was deep and strong. Punchinello stopped. "Punchinello, it's so good to see you. Come and let me have a look at you." Punchinello slowly turned and looked at the big, bearded craftsman. "You know my name?" the little Wemmick asked. "Of course I do. I made you." Eli stooped down and picked him up and sat him on the bench. The maker spoke thoughtfully as he looked at the gray dots. "Looks like you've been given some bad marks." "I didn't mean to, Eli. I tried really hard." "Oh, you don't have to defend yourself to me, child. I don't care what the other Wemmicks think." "You don't?" "No, and you shouldn't either. Who are they to give you stars or dots? They're just Wemmicks like you." "What they think doesn't matter, Punchinello. All what matters is what I think, and I think you're pretty special." Punchinello laughed. "Me, special? Why? I can't walk fast, I can't jump, my paint is peeling. Why do I matter to you?" Eli looked at Punchinello. He put his hands on those small wooden shoulders and spoke very slowly. "Because you're mine, that's why you matter to me." Punchinello had never had anyone look at him like this, much less his maker. He didn't know what to say. "Every day I've been hoping you'd come," Eli explained. "I came because I met someone who had no marks," said Punchinello. "I know, she told me about you." "Why don't the stickers stay on her?" The maker spoke softly. "Because she has decided that what I think is more important than what other people think. The stickers only stick if you let them." "What?" "The stickers only stick if they matter to you. The more you trust my love, the less you care about their stickers." "I'm not sure I understand." Eli smiled. "You will, but it will take time. You've got a lot of marks. For now, just come see me every day, and let me remind you how much I care." Eli lifted Punchinello off the bench and set him on the ground. "Remember," Eli said to the Wemmick as he walked out the door, "you are special because I made you, and I don't make mistakes." Punchinello didn't stop, but in his heart he thought, "I think he really means it." And when he did, a dot fell to the ground. A few things jump out to me as I read this story. The first one is that we all have tapes about ourselves, which make it harder to resist judgment about ourselves. This story is more about what we think about ourselves than what other people think about us. The second point is that when Punchinello went to Eli, Eli did not say, "Punchinello, what have you been thinking? Why don't you understand? You're the one who's letting the sticker stick to you. Don't you know better? Don't you know that my love is more fulfilling than anything else? What's wrong with you?" No, Eli didn't say this. Instead, he taught Punchinello to love himself by being the one to love him first. In the same way, God's love does not drive us to fear or shame. Instead, he shows us how to love ourselves and each other. It's very hard for me to not let stickers stick. As Eli said in the story, thinking differently about ourselves takes time. But God is patient with me, and that encourages me to be patient with myself and with others. I'm grateful to have a God who does not shame me for being where I am in my journey, but rather encourages me to revise the judgmental tapes I have in my head about myself and others, and to replace them with tapes of curiosity, understanding, and love. I hope this devotion helps you find the strength and hope to seek out his love for yourself also. And Mr. Bernhardt has the announcements.
Thank you, Mrs. Winters, for our message this morning. Here are your announcements for today, Friday, September 3rd. Today is an A Day. Juniors wishing to be exempt from test day, make sure you sign up for the ZAPS ACT prep course. See Student Services with any questions. Key Club forms are due. The last day we will be accepting order forms and money is today. In athletics, we have a whole slew of competitions going on here. Cross country is at First Capital Invitational at McNair. They have a dismissal at 2. Varsity tennis is at Bishop DeBerg High School at 4. JV volleyball versus Christian High at 4:30. Freshman volleyball versus St. Dominic at 4:30. Softball at Wright City at 4:30. Varsity soccer versus Duchesne at 5. Varsity football at Chaminade at 6. Varsity volleyball versus Christian High at 6. And JV soccer versus Duchesne at 6:30. So a lot going on this weekend. We pray God's blessings on all of those events. And now I believe we have some co-representatives here to make an announcement regarding freshman class elections.
Okay. Thank you, freshman class officer candidates, for your positive and friendly campaigns. The results of last week's elections are as follows. Class President Alexis Feldhake, Vice President Ava Winkles, Class Secretary and Treasurer Macy Buchanan, Class Members at Large Carly Bonham and Taylor Lindenbringer. Thank you to all who participated in the Class of 2025 Stuco election. Congratulations to the newly elected freshman class officers. If you came up short in your election, we would still love to have you as a valued member of the LHS Student Council. The first meeting will be Wednesday, September 8th before school. All members should be in the Stuco Canvas class already. Please check before attending. Now, hold on. Can I get a drum roll, please? Okay. This year's homecoming theme is game night. Each hallway will be a different board game, and we'll be running a school-wide game of Clue each day, along with many more fun games and themed dress-down days. That's all.
Thank you, Student Council. You are dismissed. Please put your chairs, please stack your chairs. Actually, you can leave your chairs. Sorry, you can leave your chairs today.